Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirectTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple.
Mary had a little man.
The fall. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Donald Trump is a corporate socialist. Donald Trump's family has received $885 million of subsidies and tax breaks for his real estate empire. And that's one of many examples of where we had the banks being bailed out, where we have essentially, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, to paraphrase, there's socialism for the rich and there's radical free market or rugged free market capitalism for everybody else. And that's a hypocrisy that I think this speech will highlight. And I think if there is a tactic behind here, and I wouldn't call it tactical, but if there is a reason for giving this speech right now, it is to say that as voters choose a Democratic nominee, one of the distinctions that Senator Sanders offers is, I am a candidate who is proudly pushing the agenda of Franklin Roosevelt. There is no middle ground compromise with the Trump administration. That the corporatism, and some might call it the centrism of the past, will not meet the existential challenges that we face right now. Challenges of vast inequality, poverty, the healthcare crisis, the climate change crisis.
You know, listen, that's just a fact. And that's why people are, willing to vote for some lunatic, orange, faded looking, corpulent guy with bleached blonde hair, a love of bronzer that's not even normal, and looks like some bloated rock star from the 1970s. You know what I mean? They voted for him because they wanted big, radical, structural change. And the radical structural change that he is bringing is destroying democracy itself. Everything that people will accuse Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, any progressive of doing. That is not what FDR did. That is not what the New Deal was about. It wasn't about destroying America. It was about building America. And America is never built from the top down. It's always built from the bottom up. Ask anybody that works with their hands for a living. Ask anybody. It's just ridiculous. We have a system that is totally socialist, but it's backwards. It gives all the money to the top from the Treasury. We pay, and then the Treasury gives and gives and gives. And they don't give to you, and they don't guarantee your pensions, and they do nothing for you. And people are livid. They are frustrated. You just keep paying and paying and paying corporate America constantly through your tax dollars, and then through your healthcare premiums, and then through your prescription co-pays. You're just supporting some of the most profitable billionaire CEOs this world has ever belched out. Do billionaires just suddenly happen? They don't suddenly happen. You know why billionaires happen? They happen because they're standing on your neck. They're standing on your back. They're giving you something when you're super vulnerable and charging you a fortune for it.
Are billionaires merely people who happen to have drifted up from you and me up into the stratosphere? Or are they actually up there because they are standing on our collective backs, pinning us down through what they lobby for, through the taxes they fail to pay, through the ways in which they organize monopolies to essentially turn the fruits of the future into their personal prerogative? And I think Americans are changing their hearts on this question, which is why we're seeing results that are causing a lot of people in the plutocracy in the media to freak out. And it's actually worth backing up from the freak out and actually asking, why is this happening? This is happening because a lot of people are feeling things in this country they haven't felt before.
Yeah, and a lot of people in this country understand that they've been crowded out by monopolies. They understand, especially people who work in, industries like mine. Yes, we're few and far between these days because our business was monopolized. Our businesses were consolidated. I actually had to leave and do this on my own, which, I'm very proud of. But honestly, why? Why was there a need for me to do that? There was a need for me to do that because monopolies were born, because consolidation occurred, and 5 media companies control everything that every American thinks is true. Erroneously, by the way. All as a platform to push out Billionaires products. What do I mean? Pharmaceuticals. Every other commercial is for big pharma. Every other commercial is for fossil fuels. Every other commercial is for a bank credit card or a little perk that this credit card can give you that. Oh, get travel point. Get it. All for banking. It's all corporate. Every single thing on the TV is to back up and provide a platform for monopolies, for corporate, to crowd you out of a field where there used to be maybe 100,000 jobs, maybe 200,000 jobs, and now there are 10. Why? Because of monopolies. We need trust busting. We need a real president. A real president. Robert in Florida.
Good afternoon, Randy.
Hello.
I go by the name of XOXO Bob and your cat. And can I praise your moderators?
If you must.
Joy, Wendy, Falcon 9, and Zebra. They do a great job in your cat moderating. I wanted to talk about Bernie. I am a Cuban American. I am a first-generation American. I want to talk about how Bernie's being criticized for his Castro comments. I know in the Cuban community, Castro is a zinger. And
but Trump is Castro, not Bernie.
Well, no, not. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing with Bernie and his comments about Castro. He's making a point about what communism did for people who were illiterate in Cuba. And he's right about that. I have a sister that lives in Cuba that I've never met. I have nieces and nephews, cousins. Okay. My niece, 2 of my nieces, one is a doctor serving in Venezuela, and the other one's a teacher. He's just pointing out what happened in Cuba.
Look, it's like, as an American Jew, okay, I can seriously say, without wincing, that the Autobahn was a really good idea that was, executed by a madman, a genocidal maniac.
Well, here's the thing. You know what's funny about that?
But who is more like that? But who is limiting free speech? Who is actively working to purge the government of just to have yes men and loyalists around? Bernie or Donald Trump? Who's literally a threat to freedom as we know it? Who is?
It's not Bernie. And the funny thing about the Autobahn is Ike came back and implemented our interstate highway system.
Right.
He took a communist idea and brought it to the U.S.
Oh no, that wasn't communism. That was fascism. That was Nazism.
The Autobahn basically is our interstate system.
Yeah, I know. We've said that. But what I'm saying is a different thing. Who is encroaching on free speech? Who is using government intrusion to prevent the publication of a book? Okay? Who is purging the government of people who speak truth to power? Ain't Bernie. RandyRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast. Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of The Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirectTV 348, Sling, Roku, and AppleTV.